When I got to this country about 10 years ago, I noticed a pretty common problem that I think a lot of native English speakers who've spent much time here have noticed, and that's the often fairly bad level of business communications that you see. That might be menus, that might be print media, that might be web presentations, and sometimes it's surprisingly major presentations with bad English. So I had the brilliant idea that I think a lot of other people also had, was to start a service to translate their Czech English into actual English. I had some business contacts, and I started going around offering this service. I met almost universally with the same response, which was, we don't have a problem. It took me a while to figure this out, and I finally realized that there's a good reason why they believe this. It was that the managers who made the decisions usually had fairly intermediate level of English, perfectly good for communicating, but they didn't have very good understanding of the grammar and certainly no understanding of the nuances involved. And the translators that they hired were definitely not going to admit that they did a bad job of translating or an incomplete job. So it looked to everybody that I was coming along trying to offer a solution to a problem that didn't need solving. I was just trying to milk them for an extra couple of crowns. I didn't figure out a solution to this in those days, and I went on to other things. But I'm finding that I have a similar situation now. I work at WebExpo13, and I'm at the very beginning stages of trying to introduce service design thinking, service design philosophy to the bank. That's all levels. I work in UX. I'm the UX manager there, and I'm trying to do it from my position of dealing with the web presences and UIs that we produce. But I realize that that's just one silo, which I'll get to later. But I'm going to make two key points today, and if you don't remember anything else, I'd like you to remember these two key points. And the first one, as illustrated by this little story, was how not to sell a service, in this case service design, and that is, I've found, to offer a solution or to offer improvements, no matter how well meant, even whether they're exactly what needs to be done or not. When you offer a solution, I find, people feel that personally. They feel like I'm attacking them, that they've done a bad job, or they chose their experts badly, or something to that effect. I haven't been able to figure out a way of packaging that message in a way that it's met with positively. So this is the lesson that I've taken at this point, especially working at the Spořitelna, is definitely not to try to offer a solution or improvement. We'll get to my second key point, which is hopefully a little bit more upbeat in a few minutes. But in conclusion, again, I would like to reiterate how not to sell the service design and offering the solutions and improvements. The way I'm trying to do it now, which solves two problems that I've found, is to explore collaborating with teams. I've made connections with marketing, with product development, with IT, and trying to figure out ways of solving problems that they have, or maybe both of us have, or perhaps even just figuring out ways of improving communication that help us both. This begins a way of thinking between us all that my hope is in this, that presenting this to the public in terms of a service design will begin to emerge, and it'll seem much more natural. So rather than come at them and say, hey, I've got service design, it's going to help the bank do a lot of stuff and make more money, let's do it. I'm going to take a much slower approach and try to show that service design, I'll provide my service, and try to help it emerge, probably with some coaxing and pulling from some allies.